My name is Bertus Basson from a load of restaurants, Overture, Spek en Bone, De Vrije Burger, Acre, etc., loads of other things. Today I'm going to spend some time with one of my favorite South Africans, Dion Meyer, and we're going to be talking about burgers.
My name is Dion Meyer. I've eaten at all Bertus's restaurants. I love them all. And it's a real privilege and a pleasure to be here.
So Dion, I understand that you're also a burger fan.
I'm a huge burger fan. As
Yeah.
a matter of fact, I'm a Vrije Burger fan. And I'm hoping that I can get some insight into how you make that magic.
Listen, so I think the construction of a burger is very important. And I grew up eating my mother's burgers. And there's a few little rules with burgers as a South African, I think. And we're not American, but I'm not a burger purist. So I'm not the kind of guy that says it's just meat and bread. I like other stuff on the burger as well. But then with the other stuff, it must also be limited. So I'm not a fan of like chutneys and brie and green figs and stuff. As most South Africans, I grew up in a Spur. And my benchmark for many years was a Spur burger.
I used to flip burgers in the Spur.
Really?
Yeah.
I used to be a waiter in the I was a waiter in
Well,
the
I was
Spur.
a waiter first and then I got promoted.
Really?
So, yeah.
Nice. Well, so we roll. So I think the first step with a good burger obviously is good meat. And our secret is that we use 4/4 only, free range beef, and then it's 70% beef and 30% fat. And we put nothing in the meat. So there's no salt in it. It really is just compressed meat and then that's it. And then
No
we season
egg,
outside.
no nothing. It's
No
just,
binder. It should just be pure beef, I think. You know. The second thing I think which is quite important is the roll, and this should never be like sourdough or tough roll. It should compress properly, and it's about getting the meat to bread ratio right. So I think that the first thing we're going to do with these guys is we're going to not oil the grill pan. We're just going to oil them lightly, and I think let's do 3 burgers today. And we use a little bit of homemade barbecue spice, and in the barbecue spice it really is simple. South African spices, flavors that South Africans recognize. A bit of salt, and then a bit extra salt and sugar for caramelization.
Okay.
Yeah. Look at that, huh? It's like a pro. And we're going to give him like a good 2 or 3 minutes on one side and then on the other. So while they're happening, we're going to talk about other ingredients. So I think the first thing is lettuce. And burgers were never made for fancy lettuce, I think. No frilly stuff, no rockets.
You don't want that full leaf texture spoiling it.
Yeah. And iceberg, I think at the max it can be iceberg of Kos, but iceberg is nutty, it's slightly sweet, it's got texture, and it is my favorite. So we do thinly shredded lettuce, so the burger stays together quite nicely. Pickles, very important. Thinly sliced tomato, red onion, and then sliced cheese. And then a cheeseburger is actually, they cook if they put 1 slice of cheese. Benny Christel would be very upset with 1 slice of cheese. Benny would like 2 slices. So all of our burgers have always got 2 slices of cheese on it.
I've noticed.
So the rolls are quite simple. We cut them completely in half. So we take them, we simply brush them with a tiny bit of butter. Lekker. So Dion, what are you doing at the moment, man? You're writing more books?
I'm writing a new Benny Christel at the moment.
Yeah. How's it going?
The first third is almost done, and the first third is the really tough part to write, because you're trying to get the feel of the book, the atmosphere of the book, the texture of the book. So it's a lot of rewriting. You spend, I think, 2/3 of your time on the first third of the book, and only then does it start. So I'm almost there. I'm almost at launch phase where I can start with the second.
And how's Benny doing this time?
Benny's doing okay. Well, after the last hunt prooi, he and Vaughan Cupero were in very big trouble, and I don't want to say too much, but what is happening in the new book is that Benny and Vaughan do get to investigate a murder in Stellenbosch.
Oh, cool.
So I'm going to introduce Benny to the Vrije Burger. He used to be a Steers burger man, but then Steers had this really cool burger with chilies, and they discontinued that.
You can flip those over.
And now they don't do that anymore, so Benny is on the lookout for a new burger.
Cool. And is Benny a burger man?
He's a burger man. That is, cops live from fast food because that's usually all they have time for. Mbali Kaleni is a KFC girl. Vaughan Cupero is a little bit different because he's got a girlfriend who is a bit of a gourmand. She loves eating in Stellenbosch, so she's teaching him to eat a little bit better.
That's cool.
But most other cops are fast food people.
And I love the fact that there's always such a, as a South African, when I read things, especially about the town that I live in, Stellenbosch, it really gives me a connection. Like it's incredible. It makes you. I'm quite proud of reading about our town.
The other interesting thing is, when we read crime fiction from overseas, we think it's very cool to read about Boston or LA or New York or wherever. But I find that my overseas readers find it as interesting to read books that are set here.
Yeah. I've switched that off. We can move them slower now. So the rules is always we sear them hard and then we let them sit slowly. They're going to sit in, they're going to cook through. But we still want them nice and pink. I think that's definitely the plan. So we'll build the burgers now like we do at the Freya, which is, can I borrow your little fillet knife, please? Thank you, Benny. Can I borrow your little fillet knife, please? Thank you, Benny. So we start with a liberal amount of mayonnaise. We build them in a lacquer way. So we start with lettuce first on the top of the burger. So we have the tops on that side, the bottoms on this side. Right. And we do it like this, that we isolate the lettuce from the heat of the burger. Then we build tomato, 1 or 2 slices per, depending on how you feel. Sliced red onion.
Why specifically red onion?
It's a little bit sweeter.
Okay.
Then we do our pickles. So as I said, we do 2 slices of cheese per burger, because 1 slice is just cheating, to be honest with you. 1 slice goes sort of onto the burger to melt a little bit, and 1 slice at the bottom. So your burger bone of your meat is sort of enveloped with
sandwiched
with cheese. Yeah. So we've got this sort of a dollop of barbecue sauce, and we make a smooth version of monkey gland sauce at the Freya burger. People often ask us what is monkey gland sauce, and it's got no monkey glands in whatsoever, obviously. But the rumor has it that a Swiss chef came to South Africa in the late 60s, and you can imagine ingredients in the late 60s in South Africa was quite limited. And this poor guy probably opened up the cupboards and saw like tinned tomatoes, onions, tomato sauce, and chutney, and thought, shit, I've got to make a sauce to go with steaks. And the monkey gland really is just like a South African barbecue sauce, which is quite cool. So
I grew up with it, you know, and it's a very unique South African thing.
It's amazing. So now we can pop the burgers onto the base, and we can close these guys up, and then we're going to wrap some burgers. So at the Freya burger, we don't. There's no plates and there's no cutlery, and every time we do something new, we have to sort of deal with, obviously, with opinions as well. I suppose it's the same when you write a new book and people go, oh, you know, do you want to like this one more than the other one or whatever. So we open up
all the time.
It does, and we opened up the Freya burger, and people started phoning me and saying, but there's no cutlery. And I said, well, it's not supposed to be cutlery. You know,
burgers are supposed to be eaten
100%, and that's exactly what we do there. But you know, even a burger is a work in progress. It's never.
Well, you know, it's like writing a book. You keep rewriting and rewriting to get it closer to perfection. The sad thing about writing is that you never get there. I don't know if it's the same with cooking,
it's
where
the same
you always
with
feel, once you've done a dish, damn, why didn't I do this or that differently?
So if anybody wants to copy the perfect burger, they now can. Well, or the perfect burger, in my opinion, which is fine.
Right.
Let's take a look at these bad boys. So this is quite a cool burger. I think this is a you and me and Basson sort of collaboration.
Absolutely.
We should try and write the book next.
Hey, I'd love that.
And there we go.
Bon appetit. It is good stuff.
The difference here is a bit of smoky cheese, which is a great idea.
And the texture of the lettuce. I really believe that the texture is a very major part of eating.
Sure.
And the different textures add to how the taste works in your mouth, and I love that.
It's amazing. Well, there we go. We're looking forward to seeing Benny at the Freya burger soon.
Well, he's going to be there soon.
Can't wait.
Thank you.
Cheers, George.
Cheers. Oh, this is so good. Oh.